Take a look at the Kampala taxi park on any given afternoon. Thousands of people are moving in every direction. Hundreds of vehicles are coming and going, and countless exchanges are happening all at once. Down on the ground, a conductor is shouting out the next route. Nearby, a student pays for a boda ride using mobile money on her smartphone. And right next to them, a shopkeeper is tapping the day's sales into a small calculator. At first glance, these look like completely separate activities, but there is a single shared thread connecting the conductor, the student, and the shopkeeper. All of them are using technology to handle information. Without even realizing it, they are already using a global network called Information and Communications Technology, or ICT. When people hear ICT, they usually picture a large, glowing desktop computer. However, real-world technology is much more common. Think of ICT as an everyday toolkit for handling information. It includes any device from a simple radio to a modern phone, and any network that helps us create a message, save a record, or talk to someone far away. That means the point-of-sale machine at the supermarket scanning your groceries is part of this toolkit. So is the battery-powered radio playing the national weather report, and the ATM dispensing cash in town. We define ICT by the practical work it does. It is a set of tools we use to solve communication problems and keep our communities connected. To understand how these tools actually work, let's step out of the busy city and visit a quiet maze garden. Here, we can see the difference between data and information. Data is like those raw maize grains straight from the cob. In this state, they are just raw facts and figures. They exist, but they aren't very useful to you yet because they haven't been prepared. Information is what you get after those raw facts have been organized and prepared. It is the steaming plate of pasho, ready to be used. It makes sense, and it serves a clear purpose. A random number like 45 is just raw data, but when a teacher processes that number and tells you it's your score on a math test, it becomes valuable information that you can use right away to see exactly how well you are doing in your schoolwork. Every ICT tool uses a specific 4-step method to turn raw data into useful information. We call it the IPOS cycle, and it works exactly like making a Ugandan Rolex at a roadside stall. The first step is input. At the food stall, this is gathering the raw eggs, tomatoes, and onions. On a computer or phone, this is when you type a message or tap a button to enter raw data into the system. Step 2 is process. The chef beats the eggs and fries them in a hot pan to change them into a meal. Inside a computer, the system unit organizes and calculates the data you just entered. Step 3 is output. The chef rolls up the hot chapati and serves the final Rolex to the customer. For a device, this is when the screen shows you your bank balance, or the printer gives you your exam paper. The final step is storage. If the chef has extra chapatis, they keep them in a safe covered container for tomorrow. In ICT, this means saving your work on a flash drive or in the phone's memory so you can use it again later. Whether you are cooking on the street or using a high-tech computer, every successful system relies on this same cycle: input, process, output, and storage. You can see this cycle helping people all over Uganda. A rider inputs a destination, the phone processes the location data, and outputs a route map. A farmer inputs a quick code, the network processes the request and outputs the exact market price. A doctor uses a digital thermometer. The machine processes the body heat and outputs a clear temperature reading. By turning raw data into meaningful results, this simple cycle helps modernize how we move, how we farm, and how we stay healthy. Because these tools do so much important work for us, we have to treat them as valuable assets, especially in a shared space like a school computer lab. Water and electronics are a dangerous combination. If you spill a drink on a keyboard, the liquid can cause an electrical short circuit. This can permanently damage the sensitive parts inside and stop the machine from working entirely. We also have to be careful with power cables. Keeping them neat and tucked away prevents people from tripping, which protects both the students and the expensive hardware from a dangerous fall. Following lab rules ensures that these tools stay in good condition for everyone. By keeping food away and cables tidy, you are personally helping to keep the technology running for the whole community. Ultimately, information and communications technology is just a name for the everyday tools we use to solve our problems. It is the simple journey of taking raw data and moving it through the cycle of input, process, output, and storage, until it becomes something we can actually use. Tomorrow, when you see someone using a smartphone or a calculator, take a second to look for the cycle. Notice how the data is being handled and shared. These tools are now a part of our daily lives. Learning how they work simply gives you a better way to manage your work, your education, and your connections with people across the country.